So just waiting for the last couple to ready up, then we'll go for race 1. Final round this week, Silverstone. Clear my bloody throat. Julian Bradders are separated by 8-9 points at the moment. Pardon me. Oh, thanks, CJ. Your internet's not playing ball this week, is it, mate? CJ should be racing CJ Dimes, but his internet is being a petulant child. So we are ready to go. Obviously, I'm going to be focusing a lot on the battle of the front two, because this is for the championship. Julian's on pole. Worked it out earlier, Bradders needs to finish twice in both races. Good place to start on Bradders himself as he drops down to third. Julian Malzahns on the outside. Bradders does take the inside line. Looks like a puff of smoke, but everyone looks clean and dandy behind him. Everyone's still going as Malzahn's on the inside again. Lovely driving from Malzahn. Let's go a bit further back. Let's see who is around. Tanzilla's currently in last. That's a surprise. Did he catch anything? No, there's no damage. Ricky's down in 12th as well. Good old fight in front with Cotsey and Laurie. Cotsey around the out, Laurie around the outside. Can't keep getting him confused with Loyal. Ricky's now on the inside. The bang doors. Cotsey remains as they're heading towards Maggots and Beckett's. Quick left. Oh, I think Ricky may have braked a bit too much there. Cotsey maybe using a bit too much curb there. Ricky gets a great drive out of complex. Cotsey manages to stay in front. Ricky's just showing his nose. Cotsey gives them the respect, probably a bit too much respect. Let's go up forward. See where these two are, Julian and Bradders. They end the first lap nose to tail. Which is separated by 0.3. Going to be gutted to see this series go. I've enjoyed this one. Bradders may get the drive on Julian. Julian did the right thing there, just make sure he couldn't get the overspeed. Overspeed! Was Mulzane throws himself down the inside. Brothers manages to keep the position. Nick's currently on his own for 7th, Viper in 9th. Again, he seems a bit on his own as well. Then comes 11th, 10th and 12th. Kotze's at the back, Ricky shoves his nose out, Kotze gets a good drive coming out of the corner. He took Kops well, almost perfectly. Is Laurie going to get in front, stop him from taking the position? He is, his contact, Ricky's gone. Kotze's going to wait for him. Don't think he needs to on this occasion. I actually think that was gentlemanly racing. Dan runs the grass a bit. Fell is on his own, enjoying some alone time. Going Tadpole as he looks up the inside of Mulzane. Slight contact. Tadpole's going to have the outside line, which could give him the traction. Front four are separated by talking less than 2 seconds, and Dan's a second behind them. Danny's got a bit of a run, looks like in front. Runs out wide, we'll lose him a bit of traction. It seems to be the gap's maintained. Almost everywhere the gap is maintained at the minute. Throw me a not very interesting race on the last one of the season. Ricky and Kotze is still separated by not a lot. Laurie Ozzy's just in front. And Danzilla has not made his way back through yet. I only assume this is the track that he's not enjoying that much. Go back up to the front. Still separated by 0.3, 0.4. Tadpole drifts out wide. He's going to rejoin. He's lost the place to Dan. Let's see if Mulzane can do his teammate a favour. No, as Bradders is on the attack with Julian now. Bradders knows if he stays this close to Julian as well, Julian can't get the fastest lap. Gotta love a Forza. Scotty guy looks like he's getting closer to Nick. Moves over to take the line. Left, right. Stay in, go back left. Ooh, Nick lost a lot of time too. Scotty guy there. Scotty guy get the acceleration down the hanger. bad for a disused air track on the outskirts of Northampton. So this is our battle for the lead and our battle on track. Looks like Scotty Guy's getting closer to Nick. He hasn't been able to get close enough to overtake. Nick's pulled another 10th out. Come on lads, I want some action. Right, Nick will get the acceleration out of that. Good looking car, Rick, I'll give you that. Still separated by a couple of tenths. Our leader's out in front, obviously that's what leaders means. Spreaders are still closing. Julian gets the better traction. Bradders will close again. Bradders has decided to get a bit of fresh air. What Scotty Guy and Nick do? Nick decides to throw it in the pits. Jump aboard with old Rick Star. Rick's got, apparently every car I look at goes into the pits. Tadpole can do now. Daddy's off. So we've got gaps everywhere now. It's just one of them races, isn't it? Last race of the season. You thought the least they could have done is thrown me an interesting race up. Everybody's relatively close, but nobody's close enough to do anything. Come on, you lot. What do I call a safety car? Might sprinkle the track with some oil. I don't know, something. So we should start to see how we're going to look. Obviously Tadpole is getting closer to Dan though. Maybe these can have a little fight before they decide to pit. Get your fists out for the lads. So, let's have a look. Come on, there's got to be a fight happening. .8 again. Oh, Bradders has jumped him in the pits. Well, stone me. Trigger, hello mate, giving it the old get it boys. Bradders is coming up behind Ozzy. Obviously Ozzy hasn't pitted. Julian and Bradders have. Bradders got the jump in the pit lane. Runs wide. Closes that gap. Bradders pulled out the inside line. It's so easy to run through that first part of the curb. That was a great move around the outside. Gets the job done. Whilst Julian follows, Ozzy throws it into the pits. NWR Dan stayed out. Waiting to see how this falls. Close that gap. There's a lap and a 3/4 to go. Going to close up to, I think that's Laurie. It is Laurie. Going to close up behind him. Could give Julian the opportunity to get a move done. Got a clear gap again. Looks like there's an interesting battle back here. Ricky, Viper and Danzilla. Laurie is holding Bradders up slightly. You can see by the way that Julian's closed the gap. Laurie gets himself out of the way. Julian lifts the throttle to get him through. Didn't want to be involved in the championship fight. Don't blame him for that. Especially as he's going to have to go into the pits this time round. Ricky and Viper are doing as they head down to the final part of the... Ricky was so much later on the brakes than Viper. Cotsy behind. Danzilla's in 10th place, which is reverse grid pole. Maybe he's doing that reverse grid sandbagging. Oh, as Viper squirrels out of the corner. Ricky and Viper contact. Ricky's got no choice, he had to come back on track. Both make it round the corner. Good, respectful driving. Cossy's probably going to shove his nose in here somewhere. Cossy's on the outside, 3 wide. Cossy's done the switchback on Viper. Can he get the move done? He can. Cracking move from Cots as Ricky takes 10th place. Ricky's on that reverse grid pole. Julian is all over the back end of Bradders. Nice that I got to see the move done, but this is the fight for the lead. Lap 9 of 10. Lap and a half to go. I lied when I said there was only a lap a minute ago. I spread the wrong bloody thing at the top. Oh, as Bradders had to shove the brakes on there. Bradders runs wide. Julian's going to be all over the back of him. I don't think Molzan can get close enough to help his buddy out here. I think he overran the gears. I think if he'd have swapped, changed gear in time. Foxy's and Ricky are still close. Let's go see where they're up to. Piper's dropped back a bit. Nicky in 8th. Scotty Guy 7th. Scotty Guy got in front. Foxy's running around the outside of Rick. Bold place to try your overtake. All he's got to do is hit the apex. Oh, as Viper gets the back end of Cotsey. Cotsy's now lost control. I don't know if that was impatient or whether they were just too slow. Time will tell. Oh, as Viper nearly runs himself really wide through there. Somebody was off track. Danzilla. It's a lovely little scrap. Bit of door rubbing. Julian and Brad are separated by 0.1. They're now side by side. Oh, I wish I didn't have to leave that fight behind. Julian is, Molzan is only 0.1 behind now. It is Bradders versus Julian. Half a lap to go. This will go a long way to decide the champion. Bradders had to shove the brakes on there again. Julian's got such better drive through Maggots and Beckett's. Is he closing that gap? I don't think he is. Bradders has got 2 more braking zones to get right. Julian throws his nose out. I don't think Molzan wanted to take his partner in crime. Leave the fight to the lead, to the leaders. Don't like to see it, but I can completely understand it. The head round the final corner and a win for Bradders in race 1. Let's get me back to this fight back here. Cotsey and Rick. Piper ended up a little bit behind. Danzilla 9th, Ricky 10th. It's a shame that Laurie gave that time up because I think he'd have been in this fight as well. Uzzy Wuzzy actually not that far behind Oozy Woozy. It took a while to get going that race, but when it got going it was enjoyable. Wait for the race to come across the line. Let's go through the grid. Bradders first, Julian, Molzan, Tadpole, Dan, Nothel, Scotty Guy, Nick, Danzilla, Ricky, Cotsey, Viper, Uzzy and Laurie. I'm gonna race 2.